Hello and welcome to the 5 steps to negotiating a better salary. So glad that you're here. Did you know, according to Glassdoor, that only 59% of Americans negotiate or counter offer on job offer salaries? That is shocking, and I hope it's shocking to you. We need to change this. And in a study that was conducted by Glassdoor, it was found that men also tend to negotiate more than women. In fact, 68% of the women that was in the survey accepted the salary that was originally offered. This has to change. We are leaving money and benefits on the table, and so I am here today to help you and guide you through the 5 steps to negotiating a fantastic salary and benefit package. You know, over the years of negotiating salaries with hundreds of potential new employees, I was always surprised by the people that didn't negotiate at all. And for those that did negotiate salary, those very few, they often didn't negotiate benefits, leaving so much more on the table. By the end of this video, you'll know how to negotiate a much better offer and why you should negotiate a much better offer. Welcome to the Career Rescue Coach YouTube channel. My name is Dawn Casey. With over 20 years of leading human resource departments, I now help people with their career changes, challenges, and of course questions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to push the subscribe and bell to get the latest videos. Let's get started. When negotiating salaries for new jobs, always counteroffer. That's your #1 rule. The first offer, I promise you, is never the best. And be sure to negotiate other benefits such as extra vacation time, sick time, your pre-scheduled vacation, work hours, alternative working arrangements, and of course relocation costs. So let's take a look at how you want to start out with this negotiation. #1, know your worth. This is your starting point. You'll want to research your value, and the things to consider when researching your value are your geographical location, years of industry experience, if you have any leadership experience, education level, career level, skills and licenses or certifications. The way that I recommend to do this is as follows. Perform a Google search by entering title, city, and state, and then the word pay scale. Then do the same thing type in title, city, state, salary.com. When the information pulls up, each page will discuss the high, medium, and low range for the job. It'll also discuss the experience and education and provide guidance as to where the range is for you. Salary.com's wages tend to be a little higher, so average the two salaries together for the low, mid, and high to find a more accurate salary range. Then determine what your personal salary range is for the job and then apply for it. When they ask you what your pay is, you always give them a range. #2, determine what other items to negotiate. Negotiation always starts with identifying what it is that you want. Be sure to negotiate other benefits along with your salary, such as vacation time, sick time, alternative work schedules, remote working arrangements, and those types of things. It's important to know what's most important to you, what's least important to you. So as you continue through the negotiation, there may be some items that will drop off, but that's okay because that's all part of negotiation. #3, review the offer thoroughly and ask questions. The offer by the employer is usually extended by phone and then followed up by email. Review the offer thoroughly. Ask questions about the offer if you have any. One of the questions I like to ask is when a raise is done, whether there are any programs that include a bonus, and what the average raise has been for people in similar positions in the past. You know, the reason things are important to ask is, as an example, if raises are done in January and you're hired in February, then you won't receive a raise for 12 months. Or if hired in December and raises are done in January, you may not be eligible for that raise for even a longer period of time. So always find out. Also, depending upon the level of the position, you may be eligible to participate in a bonus program. Be sure to ask about that. And then asking about the average raise amount is important too. If raises are only about 1 to 3%, then you may need to ask for more money up front, taking this into account. #4, prepare your counteroffer talking points and rehearse the conversation. Now, whenever you start out this conversation, you're always going to start out by expressing your excitement about the job and how you're indeed interested in joining the organization and or the team. Now, whenever you're asking for more salary, you're always going to state one of these reasons, maybe even two. Results you've achieved in previous roles, or goals that you've met, revenue that you've driven in the past, or awards that you've earned. If possible, always use a number or percentages. Years of industry experience, especially if they exceed that for the job. And what differentiates you from other candidates, skills or certifications, especially if you're in high demand within the industry as far as what your education or certifications are. Then you will state very clearly what your salary expectation is. Don't beat around the bush, just be really clear and let them know. The next part of your counteroffer, or your points that you're going to write out, have to do with what type of benefits that you would like. So again, whenever you state this portion and you're talking to the recruiter, you're going to state how excited you are about the job. Then you're going to let that recruiter know what benefits specifically that you want. And there may be some give and take on this and some questions and information exchanged in this area. And the recruiter will maybe tell you, I don't know about this, we probably could do this, but chances are they may have to get back to you on some of this stuff. Now, it's always a good idea to rehearse your points so that you feel ready and confident to counteroffer. When rehearsing, practice potential responses so that you can easily respond to anything that the recruiter says. Number 5, arrange a time to discuss the offer with the recruiter. The counteroffer should always be done by phone, not by email. It allows time for you and the recruiter to ask questions and exchange information and share information. Based upon the conversation, one of two things typically happen. One, the recruiter will approve part of the counteroffer, but will need to get back to you on another part of the offer. Often recruiters have leeway on a certain part of let's say the salary portion, but they may not have as much leeway on benefits and have to get further approval. Number 2, the recruiter will offer to call you back on the entire offer. Sometimes they have a little bit of leeway, but not a lot, so they have to check with the immediate manager to get the full counteroffer approved. Rarely, if ever, will a recruiter deny your counteroffer outright. In fact, in all the years I've been working in human resources, I've actually never done this with a candidate. So it's pretty much unheard of. But when a recruiter does call you back, you'll want to listen carefully and take notes and ask questions. When the recruiter has finished their response, then determine if the offer is something that you want to accept, or if there's a sticking point that you still want to ask questions about and see if there's any leeway on, you can do that as well. Often employers will accept the counteroffer almost in whole, but may have a few questions around the benefits that you've asked for. You'll need to determine if the sticking point for you is worth the job or not. That's your decision. Once you finish the offer with a new employer and talking with a recruiter, they will then send you a new offer letter for you to sign. Be sure to sign that right away. If the employer does not meet your salary requirements and or benefit requests, you'll need to determine if you still really want the job. If you decide that you want to deny the offer, go ahead and do that, but be gracious. Be sure to thank the recruiter for the offer and state why you have chosen to decline the offer. Express appreciation for their time and effort. Here are some final tips. Remain unattached and unemotional about the offer. If it's meant to work out, it will. Don't insult your recruiter if you don't like the offer. Always be kind and be gracious, because you never know when you'll run into those folks again. The more questions to ask, the more information you have on which to negotiate. Don't make assumptions about anything. Always confirm as you're going. Realize that all recruiters have a salary range in which they can negotiate. If you ask for a price that is outside of this range, they'll need to get approval first. The reason you're asking for more money is always non-personal. Remember, it should never be any personal reasons such as family, getting married, divorced, etc. It is not part of the negotiation process. Do not mention that you have another higher offer. You may, but then it's up to you whether to take that or not. It's not part of the leverage that you're going to use in a salary negotiation. Do not use your last job's salary as a negotiating tool. It's none of their business what your previous salary was. And in going into a new job, your new salary should always, always be higher. Do not use other people's salary as a point of reference, and then don't say that you're sorry or apologize for asking for more. This is absolutely within your rights and something you should be doing. Don't forget that you can also negotiate for relocation costs. Sometimes this is forgotten. Please also view my video on what not to say during a salary negotiation for some additional tips. Negotiating an offer really is about doing your research on salary and defining what is important to you in a job. Be sure to rehearse your points, then be clear about what it is that you want and be upfront. Don't beat around the bush just to come out and tell them. In the simplest of terms, negotiation is really an exchange of information and desired outcomes. So, let me leave you with this question. What are some other benefits not mentioned here that you have asked for or can ask for? Let me know and leave your comments below. Also remember this one very important tip. Their first offer is never their best offer. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and push the bell to get alerted for the latest and greatest videos and to let YouTube and myself know that you'd like to see more videos on this channel. Be sure to check out the Career Rescue Coach Facebook page and the group page for great articles and discussions. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Dawn Casey as a Career Rescue Coach. Remember, change your job, change your life. See you soon.